Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, well, my number 5 is Bioshock Infinite on the Xbox 360. I said at some point recently that the only piece of DLC that I never played was the Clash in the Clouds DLC, and all Bioshock Infinite downloadable content on 360 is on sale at the moment. So I picked up Clash in the Clouds for £1, £1.50 or something. And yeah, it's unlike the other two pieces of DLC, which are all story-based, it's Horde. You just defeat waves of enemies. It's incredibly simple. But I forgot how much I love the combat in Bioshock Infinite. Was it... I can't remember whether it was you that said it, or I remember reading... that there were a lot of people at the time that said, I love Bioshock Infinite, but I just don't really like the combat.
Yeah, I'm not one of those people, but that is... Okay. That's like the overriding narrative about this game now. That they love the world, they love the setting, and all that sort of stuff, but they just hate the combat.
That's really...
I find it kind of curious as well. I don't like the death system, I will say that you just respawn just around the corner, and everything's still going, you're not reset. I'd rather it's traditional checkpointing system, but apart from that, I dig it.
Yeah, I really dig it. I mean, and yeah, this sort of... wave-based Horde mode, you get the biggest scores for executing combos and using different weapons and different vigors, and money comes in very handy, obviously, because you need to purchase all of those things. So you earn extra cash by completing these blue ribbon challenges at the same time, and they come up before every wave. One will say only use melee attacks, only use a shotgun, take out the snipers last, etc., etc. And there's a really nice interface that there's sort of this very small hub world that's kind of sectioned off into chunks for different, like there's different leaderboards over in that corner, and then there's different environments over in that corner, in that corner of the space. So I mean, it's quite thoughtful for a sort of Horde add-on, in terms of its design. But yeah, basically, I absolutely loved it. Every time I've gone back to Bioshock Infinite, for the two pieces of DLC, and then I went back when the game got put on PS Plus. And now this, every time I've gone back, it's just risen in my estimation even more. And I love the combat. I love the combat using the skylines and the tears and the different weapons and vigors and stuff. I love it. I mean, like all truly great action games, the onus is on the player. The onus is on you. If you think the action's boring, jump on and off a skyline, and midway through jumping off it, RPG someone in the face, and then jump down, finish them off with a pistol, and then send a few nearby chumps into the air with like a bucking bronco, and then wallop them off the side into the abyss. It's a fantastic shooter. It was a fantastic shooter then, and it's a fantastic shooter still. It stands strong even without its world or its narrative, both of which I hold in very high regard. My only issue is that you can't save midway through a game. So in each area there are 15 waves you have to complete, but if you quit before you've got to 15, you have to go back to wave 1, so you can't dip in and out. But it's all about high scores, and you build your high scores without breaking it up with a death or fluffing one of the blue ribbon challenges. So it's a tightrope walk. So that's understandable, really. It's a shame that you can't dip in and out for a little chunk, but I don't care. I had an absolute blast with this, and I'm going to play it some more. I love it.
Yeah, I actually did play some Bioshock Infinite over the last 2 weeks. I played some more of Burial at Sea 2, but I didn't want to talk about it until I actually finished that piece of DLC, which I haven't yet. So it's pretty big, isn't it? It's bigger than I thought it was.
It's definitely bigger than the first one, yeah.
But yeah, I'm the same as you. I mean, that whole thing has always confused me a little bit. I don't think it's as good as Halo, but it's definitely better than a lot of games, and it does allow you that kind of freedom of expression, which is something that I've always talked about in campaign shooters, or even action games, like you say. That's a hugely important thing. You probably could just stand there killing everyone with a carbine from behind a piece of cover if you wanted to.
Exactly. But why would you?
Yeah, exactly. Or you can go and express yourself and be creative, and the game allows you to do that exactly as you explained. So, yeah, it's up to you, really. It's one of those. It's like when everybody said that they didn't like that Bionic Commando game that came out, the 3D one. And I just thought it was like the closest thing I'd played to Halo in terms of the combat. It was so exciting, like jumping off, and the swinging mechanic was really difficult but very satisfying once you got it right, and sort of swinging around the corner of a building and firing a rocket and then swinging underneath and latching onto an enemy and stuff. I just thought it was fucking amazing, but everybody said it was shit, so I was just, what can you do? It's just one of those baffling ones. But Yes. I've got nothing bad to say about that game, really.